Hello, my name is Simon Schur, and welcome to my flow drill tutorial. The flow drill consists of 4 techniques: a parry, a check, a replace, and a punch. So you're going to face your partner. Let's start with the left leg in front. You want to practice this with both legs, but we're going to start doing it with the left leg in front. Your rear leg, your rear hand, your right hand is going to throw the punch. Your partner is going to take their lead hand, their front hand, their left hand, and parry the punch to the side. You don't want to parry really far past the body. You want to parry just far enough so the punch that doesn't hit your body. If you parry more than that, you lose your parry tool, you lose your engaging tool, so you won't be able to counter any further attacks like a knee to the ribs. You want to parry just far enough so the punch doesn't hit you. Then you bring your bottom hand up under your and your opponent's arm so that it engages at the wrist, at the forearm. So the parry should hit the wrist, the check should hit the forearm, and then the first hand, the parry hand, hops over the other hand and touches the elbow, so you replace on the elbow. Then your right hand will throw a punch and your partner will repeat the flow drill. Parry, check, replace, punch. Now make sure you do this correctly. You parry on the wrist, you check on the forearm, you replace on the elbow. The reason for this is the flow drill can flow into all sorts of things. It can flow into arm bars, wrist manipulations, any number of attacks. The parry, check, replace, punch lets you engage the punch. Now once you've got the flow drill down, the parry, check, replace, punch, add the hips into it. Not only do you want to parry as little as possible, but you want to have as little area as possible to parry. So when the punch comes, you twist your hips. This will take your body out of the range of the punch. It'll move to the side and the punch will go right past your body. That's the first line of defense, the twisting of the hips. Then, to ensure that you don't get hit, you throw the parry. So you twist and parry, check on the forearm, replace on the elbow, then twist your hips back in for the punch to generate more power. So parry, check, replace, punch. Parry and twist, check, replace, punch. Parry and twist, check, replace, punch. Parry and twist, check, replace, punch. When you throw the parry, check, replace, punch, make sure when you throw the punch, the other hand, the left hand, is up by your face. If when you throw the punch you drop the other hand, it's going to have too far to travel for the parry. You always want to practice with your hands by your face, with your hands up. Dropping your hands is never a good idea in a fight. There are very few times it's okay to drop your hands in a fight, and when you're punching is not one of them. So when you throw the punch, the other hand should be up, so you can quickly parry, check, replace, punch. Parry, check, replace, punch. Next, you want to throw the hook punch. The kind of hook punch you want to throw is going to be a haymaker, a big winding hook punch. This will allow your partner to see it, intercept it more effectively. This is a partner drill to help condition your body and your reflexes to react correctly to these attacks. So to start with, you want your partner to see it coming. And you can go faster and make the haymaker smaller and more direct as you get good at it. So you're going to throw the hook punch. Your partner is going to parry, but instead of parrying inward, you're going to parry upwards. Now, a parry never stops a strike directly. It's not a block where you're meeting force on force. So as the punch comes towards your head, you're pushing it upwards, over your head, check under your arm, replace on the elbow, and throw your hook punch, and your partner's doing the same thing. Parry upwards, check on the inside of the arm, check on the outside of the arm, so you form an X. Replace on the elbow. This way you can go into an arm bar that way if you wanted to, and then you throw a hook punch. So parry upwards, check, replace, hook punch. And again, if you twist the hips, your body's going to shift your weight to the back leg, and then you're going to be out of range of the hook punch as you parry it. So 2 things are helping you avoid the punch. The parry upwards and the rotation of the hip and shifting the weight backwards, moving you out of range. Parry, check, replace, hook punch. After the hook punch, you're going to want to go into the elbow version of the parry, check, replace, punch. For safety purposes, don't throw the elbow to the face. Let's throw it to the chest. Now, if you parry upwards, then you're aiming the elbow up towards your face. You don't want to stop the elbow because an elbow hitting your hand is going to hurt, just like an elbow hitting your chest or face or body. Not as much, but it's still not a good idea to meet force on force, especially with an elbow. You want to parry downward. So as the person throws the elbow, your front hand is going to push the elbow down. Again, check under it on the tricep, replace on the shoulder, and then elbow your partner's chest. They're going to push downward with their left hand, check on the tricep, replace on the elbow, on the shoulder, elbow. Push down on the elbow, check on the tricep, replace on the shoulder, throw your elbow. And again, the hips come to work here. When you throw the parry, twist your hips open and shift your weight backwards so you're moving just out of range. Parry, check, replace, elbow, shift back into range. So it's not just your elbow striking, but your whole body striking. And then do this and build up speed. Yes? Parry, check, replace, elbow. The last version of the flow drill I want to cover is the uppercut. You're going to strike upwards towards your opponent's belly button or bladder area. Palm up. Now, for this, you want to be closer to your partner. So you're going to throw the strike towards their belly button. Now, they're not going to drop their hands to parry. We've already talked about how important it is to keep your hands up at all times when you're fighting, except for rare circumstances. So the parry is going to actually be with the elbow. They're going to throw the uppercut, and you're going to parry it to the side with your elbow, as well as twisting your hips. So they throw the right uppercut, your left hand elbow is going to push that to the side as you twist your hips and let that uppercut go past you. You're going to check on the forearm with your hand, slightly curved upwards. You're going to replace just above at their elbow with your elbow, and then you're going to throw your uppercut, twisting the hips inwards. Parry with the elbow, check at the forearm, replace at their elbow with your elbow, uppercut. Never drop that hand down. People tend to do parry, check, drop the hand to replace. That's a bad idea. If they throw hook punches the next move, then you're not going to be able to get there's a good chance you're not going to be able to get your hands up fast enough to parry that hook punch. So practice the uppercut flow drill until it gets pretty fast and smooth and you feel comfortable with it. Again, practice on both sides. I've talked in previous tutorials about the 3 circles. In circle 1, you can punch, elbow, and knee. In circle 2, you can lead leg kick. In circle 3, you can back leg kick, turning and spin. Now within circle 1, there are 3 variations of the circle. There's circle 1A, 1B, and 1C. In circle 1A, you can do the straight punch, but you're too far away for a good hook punch, elbow, or uppercut. Circle 1B, you move a little bit closer. You're still a bit too far for an elbow or an uppercut, but you're at a good distance for a nice haymaker punch. Circle 1C, you're in close. This is where you're going to throw your elbows and your uppercuts. So make sure you familiarize yourself with these circles, and as you practice this drill, make sure you're in the right subdivision of circle 1. 1A for straight punch, 1B for hook punch, and 1C for elbow and uppercut. It's a small difference, but it makes a difference in the power of your attack and what your opponent can do. Now, as you go through these flow drills and you get familiar with it, I want you to make it a little bit more complicated. You're going to throw 2 punches, 2 hook punches, 2 elbows, and 2 uppercuts, and your partners do the same. So it's going to be punch, 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 hook punch, hook punch, hook punch, hook punch, elbow, 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 uppercut, 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 uppercut. And of course, you're going to meet them with the correct sequence. Parry, check, replace, punch, parry, check, replace, punch, parry, check, replace, hook punch, parry, check, replace, hook punch, parry, check, replace, elbow, parry, check, replace, elbow, parry, check, replace, uppercut, parry, check, replace, uppercut. Once you feel really familiar with the flow drill and it's comfortable, you want to go into a freestyle flow drill. You and your partner can throw any of the 4 strikes that you choose: punch, hook punch, elbow, or uppercut, and your partner has to counter it with the correct parry, check, replace, punch, or parry, check, replace, strike. So you throw a punch, they parry, check, replace, hook punch. You throw a parry, check, replace, elbow. They throw a parry, check, replace, straight punch. And you go back and forth. Now you want to adjust to make sure you're in the right circle for each strike. So that'll kind of give you a hint of what your opponent intends to do based on which circle they move into. If they move closer, they're probably going to elbow or uppercut. If they move further, they might straight punch. If they're in the mid-range, they're probably going to hook punch. So that'll help you determine what they're going to do. And you can see the whole body and where it's moving because, of course, you watched my gazing tutorial, where to look when you're sparring. And you know how to watch the whole body and see where their whole body is in relation to yours. Now, in this tutorial, we've covered all the main variations of the parry, check, replace, punch. Now, I want to take this a little bit further. We're going to go into an engagement sequence off of the parry, check, replace, punch. So start the flow drill. You're going to do a parry, check, replace, punch, and you're going to take this into an arm bar. So your partner's going to throw the punch. You're going to parry, check, replace. Leave both hands there on the arm. One hand's on the forearm, one hand's on the elbow. The hand on the forearm is going to slide down a little bit and grab the wrist. You're going to do 3 movements. You're going to pull on the wrist, push on the elbow, and at the same time your back foot is going to round out 45 degrees. So pull on the wrist, push on the elbow in almost a cutting, pushing, rolling motion, and round the back leg out. This should break your partner's center of gravity, their center line. They should bend forwards, and you want their arm to stay close, their hand to stay close to your body, and their elbow and shoulder drop below their hand. So do this back and forth. Do a couple of pair check replace punches, and then one of you flow into the arm bar. Again, don't jerk it or do it hard because you could hurt your opponent or partner's elbow or wrist. You don't want to do that, or shoulder. Now there's a counter to this round out that your opponent can do. The arm bar only works if the pull pulls you off your center of gravity, and the push on the elbow pushes your shoulder downward, and then get the elbow straight. So instead of stepping forward and lunging downward when you're put into an arm bar, lunge your front leg forwards and take your back shoulder and fold your body inwards so that your body stands in the way of them pushing downwards on your elbow. So when they pull the arm, you go forwards with it with your front leg. Don't lose your center. Twist your body towards your arm. Then take your lead hand and put it against your own elbow pit. And this is how you stop the arm bar. Then you can counter by thrusting the arm bar elbow into the center of their chest by taking your now back leg and lunging towards them so that elbow drives towards their chest. Now you don't want to get hit in the chest by their elbow, so there's a counter to this. Your hand is on that elbow as it comes towards you. So instead of letting it come straight into the center of your chest, guide it into your armpit. There's nothing in your armpit, so you're going to close it over their elbow. Now as you close their elbow into your armpit, pull downward on the wrist that you're still holding on to, and you're going into wrist manipulation now. So you're holding the elbow and you're pulling downward on the knuckles, putting pressure on the wrist, and this should hurt them a lot. This is a great way to trap your opponent. Now the person being put into a wrist lock isn't necessarily helpless here if they act fast enough. As you're being put into that wrist lock, take your opposite hand, palm up. See if you can get your fingers and your hand under your other hand and grab your own wrist as close to the hand as you can get it and squeeze tight. Now, it'll still hurt, but as they pull down on your hand, they won't be able to break it because something's going to be in the way, your hand. Now, once you've assured that your hand isn't going to get broken, you can take your whole body and lunge it forwards, driving the back of your wrist towards their face. They'll let go of this, and then you can break free. Now you can continue the flow of this sequence if the person holds on to the hand that has just broken the arm bar. That person can hold on to that hand, round out, and try to put you back into the arm bar. In which case you can shift forward and inward, push on the elbow, drive to their chest. They can put it into their elbow and put you into an arm bar. You can release the arm bar with the opposite hand, throw them out. They can put you into an arm bar, and so on. And you can get this drill to flow nicely and smoothly. The trick is to start slowly, get familiar with the techniques, and then flow through them. And as you get comfortable with them and familiar with them, with all the pieces, then you can go faster and faster. The last thing I want to cover in this flow drill tutorial is how to engage the feet as well as the hands in the flow drill. We've talked about how the hips work, but we can also add kicks to this. Now for this part, you'll need to have watched my kick avoidance tutorial. In my kick avoidance tutorial, I talk about reacting to the round kick with a round out, the side kick with a step away, step in, and the hook kick with a V-step, assuming that all the kicks go with the lead leg, which for this sequence we're going to do. So once you've gone and watched my kick avoidance tutorial and you're comfortable with that, those drills and that sequence, then we can add that to our pair check replace punch and add circles 1 and 2 to our circles 1, A, B, and C. So throw a punch, and then your partner throws a punch, then hook punch, elbow, elbow, uppercut, uppercut, then add, shift backwards, lead leg round kick, round out, other person lead leg round kick, round out, lead leg side kick, step away, step in, lead leg side kick, step away, step in, lead leg hook kick, round out, V-step, lead leg hook kick, V-step. And then mix it up and go freestyle. So your partner can throw any of those techniques they want. Punch, hook punch, elbow, uppercut, lead leg round kick, lead leg side kick, lead leg hook kick. And you've got to respond to it with the same thing. Now start slowly, yes? Throw the punch and let your partner see it coming so they can get a hang of reacting the right way. And the same thing for you. And as you get comfortable with it and you're reacting more often correctly, then build up speed. You throw a punch, they throw a round kick. You throw a hook punch, they throw an elbow. You throw a side kick, they throw a hook kick. And so on until you're comfortable reacting correctly to all the techniques when they're coming at you. And then you can build up speed. And once you practice and become really good at it, you'll find that you're able to see things coming much more clearly. You're surprised less by attacks that come to you. And you react automatically with parries and avoidances as these attacks are thrown at you in a more realistic sparring type circumstance. Thank you very much for watching my flow drill tutorial. Please don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe, and please check out the other videos on my YouTube channel.